Welcome to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Kaye, and this is my summer wrap-up. I have lots of updates for you guys. I can't believe this summer is over. Oh my gosh. I feel like we were just talking about how we're going to do episodes all through the summer. I'll admit I did skip a couple weeks here and there. Life was lifing, like I said, and then here we are, like boom, summer's over, kids are back in school, back to the grind. But I had a okay summer. It started rough, and then it ended strong. And so, and now the year is off to a strong start. So, I did put a question box in my Instagram also, like I did, I think the last episode, it was a question and answer with Dana. And so I like to answer those questions. So I have some questions that I'll answer today. I'm also going to give you an update. So my the summers were full of ups and downs. The up was that we launched Wild Blueberry and we sold out twice. That's for Devotion Nutrition News. Holy cow, you guys loved the Wild Blueberry protein. And so now, unfortunately for everyone, we are sold out and we're waiting. So we are going to put it in the permanent lineup. It was supposed to be a seasonal flavor. And I did it in the same size bag as the gingerbread. And the thing is like when you do a flavor that's supposed to just be seasonal, it was a limited run. You know, we ran like thousands of bags still because we have a lot of customers, but it wasn't like a normal protein run like we would do for an angel food cake or a brownie batter where, you know, we're running tens of thousands of bags at a time. This was just like a limited run, and we were going like, let's see how people like it. We'll do it for the summer. And wow, it was an explosion. So we ended up doing another little mini run, sold out of those. We sold out of the initial run, and the feedback from everybody was amazing. So I am putting it in the lineup in the 2-pound bag. And I know the customers are going to be very happy when it comes back. Unfortunately, there is a waiting time in between in between switch, because we're switching the bag. The limited edition bag was a 20 serving. We're going to go take it to a 30 serving, just like the other flavors. And that means we needed to print a new bag. It means we needed to make a really big batch of the protein. So, but if you're listening and you haven't tried the Wild Blueberry, it tastes like blueberry muffin mix, like dead on blueberry muffin mix. When we were coming up with a fruit flavor, we had never done a fruit flavor for Devotion before. I was like, little hesitant, like what is a blueberry going to taste like? But it doesn't taste like just blueberry. It's like a blueberry muffin mix that you make blueberry muffins out of. So even though we called it Wild Blueberry, it reminded me of the Wild Blueberry muffin mix at the grocery store that we would buy. Like, I can't remember what brand it was, but when I was growing up, we'd make the blueberry muffins in the morning on the weekends, and then I'd want to like lick most of the bowl because the batter was so good. That's what this protein tastes like. So if you haven't tried it, grab up a sample pack. We also sell them in 12 packs, and I think you're going to love it. You can do so much with this flavor. And then I also approved more flavors that are in the pipeline. I have so many more products coming down the pipeline. You guys, you have no idea. Like 2 more protein flavors, and then we've got 8 in a whole flavors of a whole new line, and then we've got 4 more Hydroflex coming. But again, it's just a process. It's like designing the packaging and tweaking the formulas and doing all the stuff and making sure everything is perfect. So it takes a little while, but good things come to those who wait, because blueberry took a while, and man, everybody loves it. Well worth the wait. People hawked me forever. What's a new flavor? And then finally, once it came out, it was like, well worth the wait. So that's some positivity in Devotion world. And then my world, yeah, it got sticky there in the summer with my son. We had a rough summer, and I think we had to go through some tough times. I did record a podcast a few weeks ago about, I called it letting him go to let him grow. Well, the update is he's been now at boarding school for 3 weeks. I think he's in his 4th week. This is the start of his 4th, with almost a month, and he's doing amazing. he went with his father for drop off. I'd gotten really upset. I got into a big fight with Bodie. I was just unhappy with the way he was functioning all summer. I had hired, if you guys will know, Manny the Marine. He's in my town. He's a big deal where he does an event that Devotion's actually the title sponsor for this year, called Soldier Rush. He's been on my podcast twice before. Anyway, his studio where he trains people is down the street. I called Manny and I was like, hey, I'd love for you to work with Bodie this summer and get him ready for school. And so Manny stepped up like big time. I mean, I'd hired him to just do like training sessions with Bodie, and he really went above and beyond. I'm going to have him back on the podcast actually to talk about that and Soldier Rush. But Bodie was Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9:30 or 9 a.m. He did also some physical therapy on his ankle and stuff, but he did training with Manny 5 days a week, and he'd have to wake up early and get to Manny's studio. And in the beginning, we went through some rough times where Bodie, he had trouble waking up, but this was all in preparation for going to boarding school where there's no room for error. Like, you're waking up, you're getting to class, you're getting your stuff done. And Bodie was going from an extreme where last year it was the worst school year of my life. It just a disaster, where Bodie, just did not do well academically, socially, just the whole thing was like a mess. It was very stressful for me. And then, I hired Manny to help me because I was like, okay, if he's not going to like listen to me and I'm not going to be his little boot camp, like I'm his mom. So Manny was like, Dana, step aside, like you be mom and let me do my job. And so we were on a group thread, and Manny would send him voice messages and taught him about nutrition, which Bodie knows the nutrition stuff from growing up with me, but I guess to not hear it from his mom and to hear it from Manny was different. And Bodie still put up resistance, not purposely. I think it was just like Bodie just didn't want to do what he didn't want to do. He wanted to still ride that I'm just lazy game. And it's like, that didn't cut it for Manny. I mean, Manny was not having it. And I was still frustrated because I was like, dude, like your life is just wake up, get to Manny on time, do your workout, do your meal plan. Manny did put him on a meal plan. Manny gave him guidelines. Like, I want you drinking 2 Devotion shakes a day. I want you to throw in, because we were trying to pack some muscle on Bodie. So he's like, throw in, some peanut butter, banana, put some oats in there, put some spinach in there. Like, let's just pack in nutrients. Let's pack in protein. I want you eating, chicken breasts and rice and steak and sweet potatoes. And, and I'm over there like getting for Bodie, and we're making eggs and English muffins and all the, trying to get him nutrient rich food. And I'm his mom, and I want him to succeed, and I'm trying to help him. But like I said in the other podcast, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So it's like Bodie would go so far, and then he'd get lazy, and then he wouldn't drink the shake, or then he wouldn't wake up on time. And man, my frustration was like, oh my God, dude, get it together. Like, why is this so difficult? And so anyway, we did it all summer, and it was nearing the end of the summer, and then he was doing really well with me, and then he went back to his father because we split the summer with the kids half and half. And when he went to his father, Manny didn't know, and he reached out to me, and he's like, hey, what's going on? Like, Bodie was doing great, and now he's like sliding back, and my blood just boiled that he was with his father, and he was now trying to get away with more BS, like now not doing what Manny was asking. So I flipped out, I just lost my cool. Like, I texted him and his father, and I'm like, I don't understand what you guys are doing. Like, why are you, why aren't we taking this serious? Like, Bodie's 16. He didn't get a job. Like, all his responsibility is to train with Manny, is to do his food log, is to, help out. He was supposed to work at Devotion headquarters. Like, I was just, I wanted his summer finally at 16. It's like, you get a driver's license. You think you're responsible enough to drive a car, but you're not going to like pull your shit together. And I was just so frustrated because by 16, it's like I was stringing tennis rackets. I was working at my parents' company. I was doing so much. And I'm like, what is this? Like, I didn't like the direction that like my son you just want to just fart around and ride your bike and hang out with friends and do nothing all summer. And it didn't sit well with me. And anyway, I kind of flipped out and I was like, you know what? You take him to school, you pack him for school. You know, I was so angry at just the lack of support from my ex-husband. He would write all these like great fluffy things like, oh, Bodie, we got your back and all this stuff. But it was like, okay, well, no, you don't. Like he's not performing and you're not punishing him and there's no consequences. So I said, you know what, I'm stepping away. So I took some time away. I let Bodie do Bodie. And you know, at his father's house. And I was like, you know what, if you're prepared for school, I hope you're prepared. And if you're not, you're not. And I didn't know what else to do. I was just at my wit's end. But finally, you know, I decided like, no, I'm not going to not be there to take him to school. Like, you know, please. It's like, of course I'm going to be there. But his father drove him up and they packed him with stuff and whatever his packing was. I didn't help with the packing. I finally had to, like, a lot of people, you know, I started seeing a therapist and like a lot of people said to me, like, Dana, you've got to back down. You've got to stop trying to be an A+ mother. Be a C mother. Like let him go, let him grow, let him figure it out. Like if he doesn't have his stuff at school, then that's going to suck for him. Like he's got to learn. But if you're always the safety net for your kid, when do they learn? If you keep doing everything for them, if you do the assignments, if you don't let them fail and you don't let them feel that feeling of, shoot, man, I didn't wake up. Now I've got to do that. You know, I've learned a lot of that from Greg being an athlete and being on teams and going to boarding school. Like Greg said to me, he's like, yeah, if I forgot my hockey gear, like I had to stand there and the rest of the team was punished. And then they were all mad at me. Like they were all doing, you know, they all had to skate sprints and they were like, thanks, Greg. And like, you never want to be that guy again. So he's like, Dana, let him like screw up and pay consequences. So I finally had to just back down and I did. And so I ended up going up with Mom and Rocky and meeting Bodie at school, and his father brought the girls, and because they were all with their dad, and that was fine, and it was very peaceful because his dad like dropped him off in the beginning of the day, and then he left, and we didn't even have to see each other, and then I ended up being with Bodie the second half of the day in his dorm, and I spent time with him. And it was hard. Like the crazy part is that I didn't cry when I left. I did not cry, which I thought I was going to be an absolute basket case, but I didn't. And what I did feel was relief. I felt a sense of relief, like my son is finally in a place where he's going to get structure, where he's going to not feel the comfort of being in my home anymore, where he can just get away with stuff and sleep late. I also felt relief that he didn't have that stupid bike anymore. I don't have to worry about him driving a car around anymore. It's like he's there to study, to do work, to focus on his sports, to focus on being a good guy and like learning discipline and waking up in the morning and responsibility and the things that like that's the shit that's important right now, you know? And so I felt relief, like, oh my God, I don't have to like be calling him at night like, hey, can you get home? Where are you, Bodie? Come home. And or like getting calls from like, you know, the local people. Oh, I saw your son wheeling down the middle of the highway and like all this crazy stuff that he used to do that I used to wonder, like, am I going to get a call that my son got hit by another car? Or maybe this time we won't be as lucky, you know, as we have the last 2 times he's gotten hit. So like finally I was like, oh my God, like good. I'm like, he's safe. He's in a dorm room. He's with other boys. And this school is not a military school for bad kids. This is actually for kids who excel. His roommate is very smart. There is aviation and nautical, and Bodie is doing like Navy type stuff. And they also have a flight school. So this school's for kids who are you know, going to be pilots, and they're responsible. They're smart. So this was not, you know, they said like, look, if you're looking for like a school who's going to like scream in your kid's face and reprimand him like that, this is not the school. And I was like, you know, that's not what Bodie needs. Bodie just needs to be surrounded by kids who are doing things, who care about their schoolwork, who are not just wheeling around our town and hanging out and worrying about, hanging out with girls and all the stuff that really doesn't matter right now. Like that's what he was doing. He was doing nothing. It was like, I used to call he and his friends the Lost Boys, like doing nothing. So I felt such relief when I left the school. Like, thank you. Like I felt like I could breathe. I could sleep at night knowing that like my kid is now around people who will guide him and direct him on how to be this like strong, independent man and really give a crap. And right from the beginning, right from the first phone call I got from him, actually the picture that they sent to me, he was just smiling. He was beaming on his first day of school in his uniform. He hasn't had to wear the full military uniform yet because it's been so hot, but I was like, then I started crying. Then I started just like bawling because I was like, oh my God, like thank God my son is like going to like now be doing like great things. And last year he fought me. I would drive him to school and he didn't want to wear the uniform. He would like find a way not to wear the uniform. So he would wear a hoodie that was school issued. So he's like still in a hoodie. And then he didn't want to join a club. I'd say, Bodhi, you're in 10th grade. Like, start joining clubs, start doing things. And he didn't, no, I'm not joining a club. I'm not, like, he called me and he's like, Mom, I joined the Marine Science Club and I joined the pickleball club. And he's doing cadet training. And he's doing, and he wants to earn those ribbons that he's going to wear on his military uniform. And I was just like, oh my God, thank God. Like, and I looked at his grades. Last year, I would open up his grades on the portal all year long. He had D's and F's, D's and F's, D's and F's. And I'm like, what is wrong with this kid? Every assignment was missing. He did not care. Every time I open the portal now, it's 3 weeks in and he's got A pluses and B pluses. That's it. A's and B's, A's and B's. He doesn't even have a C. The kid is actually doing his schoolwork. I was like, Bodhi, you're so smart. Like, why don't you care? Like, I'm not saying you have to go to, some Ivy League school, but like put in some effort. And man, I'm just so proud of him. So it's only 3 weeks in. This is my update. But in 3 weeks, this kid is already, he's excited. He's playing basketball. He's just different. And when I talk to him, he's showing me his muscles because he's eating healthy and he's working out. So fingers crossed, like we just keep heading in the right direction. But as a mother, do I miss my kid? Yeah, I miss him. Somebody asked in my IG, how are the girls dealing? Bryce cried 2 nights ago in my bed how much she misses Bodhi. But I said to her, like, but do you remember what last year was like? Like, Bodhi is where Bodhi needs to be right now. And she understands that. Because I was like, how did you Bryce used to always try to like go into his room and wake him up. And she'd be like, Bodhi, come on, Mom wants you home. Bodhi, she wanted Bodhi so badly to just behave and do what he needed to do. Because she loves him so much. So, they have a group text message that they text each other every morning, and they can FaceTime and text, and so Bodhi's probably going to come home in the fall for a break, and it'll be great. I'm really, really, really proud of him. It's just the beginning. I know that I'll have way more updates for you guys, but I don't talk about it much because it always makes me cry because I love him so much. It's such a hard year. And it's like the last thing I wanted to do was not have him be at home. But if this is what it takes to get Bodhi back on track or get on a good track, to create a really awesome life for himself, then this is what we had to do. And so, I'd rather it be really, really hard for me. I don't think it's hard for him. I think he misses us, but I think he loves being independent. And I think he's thriving with knowing that like the choices he makes are all his. He can't point blame or anything. He used to do that. He used to be like, well, my alarm didn't go off or this didn't go off. It's like, no, Bo, there's no excuses. So that's my update on Bodhi. Somebody else asked an update on Bijou because Bijou, if you guys remember last summer when she went to camp, she lost like 30 pounds. She had gained a little bit of it back. She gained a bunch back over the school year. She was not as active. And she had to learn the hard way. But just like me, like I told her, I was like, do you think I have I had to lose and gain the same 30, 40 pounds over and over again until it finally clicked. So I don't ever give up on any of my kids and what they're doing and their stuff. And so Bijou, it has to, and you know what, with all these kids, it has to come from them. Like they have to want to do it themselves. Somebody on my TikTok said, oh, how can you be in such good shape and let your daughter, get so overweight? And I was like, because I can't force her to do the stuff I'm doing. I work really, really hard to be fit. I lift weights. I prep my food. I run. I play tennis. I do cardio. I am like a fitness fanatic, because that's what it takes for me to stay in shape. So, but does that mean I'm going to put that on my daughters or that my kids have to do the stuff that I do? No, I'm not going to force that on them. I lead by example. And I used to always say, for me, it had to come from me. And when a kid sees it, they're seeing it. Doesn't mean they're ready to do it, but eventually when they're ready, they're going to do it. And so last year I had to kind of nudge Bijou like, hey, let's go on a long walk. Cause I think like she needs steps. She needs activity. She needs, and I used to have to almost beg her like, sweetie, come on, put your sneakers on. Let's do 2 laps around the block together. And you know what I'd say? We're doing it together. It was never like I was just sending her off on her own. I'd say, let's do a long walk together. We'll walk 3 miles and we'll talk and we can listen to music or whatever. And sometimes she would happily go and sometimes she would give me resistance. Well, I finally was like, you know what, I'm not pushing her. She's watching me. She's a smart girl. And if she cares and if she wants to do it, she will do it. Like she has the tools, And it was like the same thing with me. And so Bijou started to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and was going to the gym when she was at her dad's house. And she would text me like, Mom, I'm waking up. I'm going to the gym. And she did it every single morning. And then when she came back to my house, I didn't have to, she'd wake up, she'd get changed immediately, and she would say, Mom, I'm going on my long walk. This Labor Day weekend, she walked 7 miles every day for 3 days in a row. Just walked. I didn't say you have to run. I didn't say she just walked. She walked all over the community. She walked, she would walk to Publix. She would walk here. She walked there. She walked to a friend's house. She got like over 22,000 steps and she was so proud of herself, and she's drinking her water and she's eating her healthy food and she makes her devotion pudding, and she asked me to, make her grilled chicken because she prefers grilled, and she's the one doing it. Like it's coming from her. Like I don't, and the stuff that she asked for, like this morning, for breakfast, she made a devotion pudding with some fruit and whatever. Like she knows what to do. She watches me. She makes her waffles. She, at night when she has a sweet tooth, she makes her another, a pineapple upside down cake or whatever, like whatever stuff. Like we've got 1,000 healthy treats that are low in sugar and high in protein and all the things. And she goes to the gym and she lifts weights and she's just doing awesome. And she goes to the field and she plays soccer. And I wouldn't, looking at her, it's not like weight is falling off of her, but that's not really my concern. My concern is that she's just living a healthy lifestyle. She's not being sedentary. She's eating, nutritious foods, her fruits, her vegetables, her protein. She's getting in her water. She drank from a gallon water jug the other day with her 2 Hydroflex. She's like doing her thing. So, she's just 13 right now. So she's got her whole life ahead of her. It didn't click for me until I was in my 30s. Like but hopefully she won't have to struggle like I did to figure it out. I figured out a lot. So Bijou kind of has some cheat codes there. She's got some shortcuts that I can help her without her stumbling and falling like I had to a million times. But man, she's doing awesome. And Bryce has a 24-hour EEG on Monday. She still has a seizure disorder. She does take medicine twice a day. So they all have their battles. Brycey still has her braces on. Bijou and Bodhi got theirs off. Like, it's crazy. The kids are just growing up, and they said to me, like, they're like, Mom, are you sad that we're growing up? Bryce keeps asking me, and they're like, did you cry when we started 8th grade? I was like, no, I'm not sad. I love it. I love that you guys are growing up, that you're becoming my buddies. It's fun to do stuff with you. You're not babies. I don't have to shower you and take care of you. We get to just like hang and do fun things together. And I'm loving it, So I think that these years are great. I think that they were adorable. It's like I said to them, I took 1 million pictures of you guys when you were little because I thought you were so adorable. I have 1 million videos. Like, I will savor those times forever. You were the cutest kids ever. But like, do I like this phase? Yeah. Like, I can't wait until, Bodhi and I are spending more time together. We did this summer. We played pickleball together, and Bodhi and I are very close and we got along great. But it's like, I'm enjoying those years. I'm enjoying when my kids are mature and we're like doing really cool things together. So everyone is good. And Greg and I are great. We did a trip together at the end of the summer back to Canada, where Greg is from. We went to Vancouver and then up to Whistler, which Whistler was breathtaking. We stayed in beautiful hotels. We went with his brother and his brother's partner, Megan, who we met in Vancouver, and we just had a blast. And then we went to Vancouver Island, and we ended up at a wedding at the end of the trip. And it was just so much fun, like just traveling, seeing beautiful Canada. British Columbia is so beautiful. And just the whole area, that whole area, Vancouver Island, where you take a ferry from Vancouver to Vancouver Island. It was such a beautiful ferry ride. Like, it's just such an experience. I actually want to do it again because I love it. It was just so fun. And it looked like a postcard, like the whole thing. So we had a great time. I did have I had a couple incidents. I had an incident with wine. I had, after our hike in Whistler, it was actually pretty cold at the top of Whistler. It was 40 degrees and I was miserable. I was so cold, but we did the hike anyway. I sucked it up. And when we got to the bottom, I don't drink. I know you guys who follow me on social media, see that I just don't drink. I don't show alcohol mainly ever. I'll maybe champagne here and there. But for the third time ever, I had a crazy allergic reaction to red wine and it was weird because we got a glass of red wine at the fireplace at our Four Seasons Hotel in Whistler. And it was so perfect. It was so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, it's toasty. And it just wine just felt right. And so I was like, oh, screw it. I never drink, but one glass of red wine will be great. And I just planned to milk it, sip it, whatever, just for the mood. I don't know. It's one of those things, it's kind of like ordering a hot chocolate when you're skiing. It's just you're even if you're not a hot chocolate person. Well, as I'm sitting there telling Dan and Megan, who we were traveling with, about the incident when I drank red wine and I started it and had an allergic reaction. But I thought that it was just because it was a freak thing. I didn't really think I was allergic to wines or whatever, because I've had I think I've had champagne since, because it happened with champagne also. As I'm telling them, I start itching. And then it started on the bottom of my feet, and then it goes up through my feet, and then it goes to my ankles and my legs and my thighs and up my back and up my butt. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm covered in hives, red hives, and I'm clawing. And now I have long nails and they're decently sharp. I'm ripping my own skin off, making myself almost bleed. I was in agony. I took 2.5 Benadryl before it would stop. It was so horrible. I missed dinner that night. I was I can't even get dressed. I can't even put clothes on. Oh my God, I'm itching. It was so bad. So I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm going to go to an allergist or if it even matters, since I'm not a drinker. Who cares? Wine is something I could take it or leave it. So I'm but do I want to find out? What the heck am I allergic to? So I don't know, but that happened in Whistler, and that was a bummer because that was one of our fancy date nights. So the three of them went, and I just stayed in bed after, and the Benadryl knocked me out. I was so bummed though. I was like, this is such a nice night. We were sitting at the fire. So, but the rest of the trip was awesome. Really, really pretty. But my summer's been great. I'm doing so many activities. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm wearing myself out, but I really feel like right now I'm starting to live a little. Greg really got into golf, and so he got me taking golf lessons. And then I joined the tennis team at my country club. After 8 years of living there and never playing on the tennis team, I finally joined, and it's quite a commitment. I was like, holy cow. But it's I'm committing myself to even more than just the practices, because I'm going to clinics and I'm playing friendlies, which is what they call when the women get together and play. But it's fun because I'm making friends. I was always saying oh, I'm like a lone wolf. I have no friends. I just, I'm always doing everything alone. And now all these ladies are so great and they're fun, and we play tennis, and they asked me to join in. And so I just went to a tennis party the other night. So now I'm oh, that's cool. This is what it's like to have friends as an adult. I haven't really had many or had much of a social life. I've just been working, I just work and work. And so between tennis, and then I still do my weight training, and then I got into running, which I'm going to talk on the next podcast episode with Maria. We're going to talk all about my running adventures. Because you guys know I'm with Greg and he's an avid runner. So then I kind of felt maybe I should do some running. It's just but it's a lot, it's a lot. And then I don't have a cleaning lady. She quit on me last November, and I've been trying to find one, but I have a pretty decent size house, and I'm also cleaning my own house and mopping all the floors and doing the stairs and doing the stuff and the bathrooms, and that in itself is a workout. So lately I've been exhausted. I've been really and in the heat. I mean, I run in the heat. I play tennis in the heat. It wears you out. So lately I've had to kind of I don't know. I don't want to say take it easy, because I haven't, but when I can rest, I do rest. Somebody actually wrote, I've learned that motivation ebb and flows. How do you stay consistent? Well, how do I stay consistent is that I now schedule my workouts and the things that I want to do like any other meeting, so that I can do stuff and fit stuff in. So I plan my weight training classes. I plan my runs. I plan my tennis days. I plan my golf. I plan everything so I can stay consistent with it. If you don't book ahead, I booked out golf lessons. If I just do one and then I'm I'll never take another lesson. I've got to keep booking, and I've got to keep pre-booking the weight training classes. And yes, you can overdo it, but know your limits. Know what, and you don't have to do everything at once. I mean, I was supposed to do a run today, and instead I played tennis. And then I'm you know what? I don't think the run's going to happen. I've already done a lot of cardiovascular this morning with tennis. Maybe I'll lift some weights tonight, just to keep the weight training going. But schedule your life to stay consistent. If you don't schedule it in as part of your life, you will let another day go by, and another day go by, another day go by. And then before you know it, you're oh, I haven't been consistent. Well, you didn't schedule it. Schedule it like anything else you do. How do you stay consistent with brushing your teeth? Or, with showering, right? It's something that you work into your life because you have to do it. I think physical activity is something that we have to do. Schedule it into your life like it's an activity that you're scheduling like anything else. And that's how you will stay consistent, and stop making excuses for not staying consistent. Let's see. Some of these topics I'm going to talk about with Maria. You guys did leave me some questions about fitness stuff that Maria is going to be great to talk about. So make sure you tune in next week for the next episode with Maria. Somebody asked me favorite brands of workout clothes. Okay, I'm a big Lululemon girl, but I just discovered, because Lululemon's expensive, and some of my Lululemon stuff, I love the hoodies. I wear the hoodies all the time, the pants, all the cute stuff, and the quality is really good. But if you go on Amazon and you type in Lululemon dupes, holy cow. There are a lot of things from Lululemon I'm never going to buy again, because the dupes, the shorts, just as good. There's a brand called Crazy Yoga, and my mom and I were like, we found like these shorts that the cut is awesome. They are just Lululemons with a different label. Like it's just the same manufacturer. It's wild. And so we ordered a few pairs of those. I have so many what are those hoodies that I always wear. I'm trying to remember the name, but I found like a hoodie dupe that I bought only one so far. But I'm like, why would I? It's on a hoodie that I like wear like walking the dog or like at night. Like it's not a big deal. Like get the dupes. So look on Amazon and put in Lululemon dupes, and you will be shocked. And the Crazy Yoga, I'm actually wearing one of their pants right now. I only ordered one just to see how I liked it, and holy cow, like super, super nice. But all of my sports bras have been the Lululemon Energy Longline. They're the ones I wear all the time. I have a couple of their running sports bras, but the zipper sucks, and I've had to return them, and then they don't give me a full credit, and I get pissed off. So, I don't know, but maybe I could find a running dupe on Amazon. But I'm telling you, the dupes, that's where it's at. Let's see. So I'm looking through some of these questions. Some of these I'm going to, like I said, save with Maria. Somebody asked, how's your shoulder? You still have pain? Yeah, my shoulder still has an impingement. I had surgery last December, and the area where I had surgery feels good, but I still have tightness and I still have pain. Something else happened in like the rear area, and I'm doing exercises for it, but it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I really, I don't know. I was hoping that my shoulder would be in a good spot by this time this year. I mean, but it's getting better, and fortunately, and the activities that I do aren't really affected by it. Like tennis, I'm not affected by my shoulder because I'm a righty, and then even my backhand is okay because I'm like mainly like I hit a two-handed backhand, but it's the pain is okay. And then golf, it's okay. The backswing, there's a little bit of tightness, but I'm okay. Golf is hard, by the way. By the way, let me just tell you something right now. Everything that I'm doing is a challenge and is hard. Running is really hard. And like I said, we'll get into talking about running. Tennis is really hard. And golf is really, really hard. When you watch people who know what they're doing, they make it look easy. I guess that's just like anything, any sport. There is every single one of them, there is certain form that you have to do in running. Obviously tennis, like your tennis strokes, and there's a certain way to hit a ball and form. And then same thing with golf. With golf, like you think you just get out there and swing the club. Oh my God, when you start taking lessons, you're like, there are 8,000 things to go through your head before you're even going to swing that club and hit the ball. Oh my God. And my instructor is this guy named Reggie. He's awesome, but he makes me think way too much. Like he asks me so many technical questions, and he's like, look, I understand if you're not going to get it every time, but like, I need you to understand like what's connected and where, and all the things and oh my God, it's just a lot. It's a lot. Golf is a lot. And it's like we don't even realize it until you start it. But it's really fun. And once it clicks, it's really fun. But there are days when I'm on. Like today I played tennis and I was on and I was like, yeah, I feel great. And then there are days where I'm like, I hate the sport. I don't know why I'm playing. This sucks. I don't even care. Like I'm done. I'm over it. So it's like it's mental, but it's challenging, and I think that's what keeps me coming back. With the running, with everything I do, even with weight training. But I will say, I woke up this morning with a really, really tight back, and oh man, I was like, all right, Dana, you need to chill out a little bit. I do the Peloton stretching classes, and I did the Peloton rolling. There's like where you can take a roller and you can do a Peloton class where they'll tell you how to use the roller. And I did that where I rolled out my glutes and my hams and my lower back last night. That is something that if you're going to get into any type of sport or even just to feel good, you should stretch. So everybody should stretch. Rest and recovery is huge, but stretching, and keeping your body like feeling good, especially like if you are doing things using muscles that you usually don't work. I mean, it's funny when you take a golf lesson and the next day you're sore and you're like, why am I sore? It's like, whoa, because you're normally not doing that motion. But like all those muscles, you need to take care of all of your body. And so even though it's like, oh, it's another thing I have to do, I've learned a lot from Greg, where like Greg takes care of his body because he wants it to perform for him. So he like honors his body, where I'll be like, okay, I'm so tired of going up to bed. And then all of a sudden I hear somebody talking and it's like Greg firing up a Peloton stretch. And he's like, okay, I'll be up in 10 minutes. I just have to do my stretch. And I'm like, God, this guy, like, because he wants to wake up and he wants to feel good and he wants to do it again and do it again because, but if you wake up like how I felt this morning with my back tight, I was like, oh my God, how am I doing all this stuff? So I slapped on some CBD. I had my CBD pain cream. I used the hell out of that stuff and I rubbed it all over my back and I did some stretches and I loosened up, but I was like, damn, Dana, like, okay, I think we're going to need to pull back a little bit today because you can't always beat yourself up in one direction. You gotta, so tonight I am going to do the Peloton stretching again. That's like one thing I'm really going to be good about. But anyway, that's what's going on in my world. Like I said, I'm going to have Maria on for 2 episodes in a row to talk about all kinds of fitness stuff because you guys know that's where my heart and my passion is. And I want to talk about running. Maria was excited because, she's an Iron woman and she's a freaking beast of an athlete. So she's going to have a lot of great information to share. I can't wait to pick her brain just for me. And then it'll just be so happen that you guys are going to listen in too. It's going to be a great conversation. So yeah, that's what I've got for you. All right. Well, thanks for joining in, everyone. That was my summer recap. What's going on in my life? Answered a few little questions. We'll answer more in the next episode. And and I'll keep you posted on the kiddos. The kiddos are doing great. All right. Well, thanks for joining in to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast.